Alright guys, welcome back to Albion. I took a little trek around the islands to sort of prepare my dudes for the journey to the next part of the game, the next islands. And as you can maybe or maybe not tell, I managed to get a bit of an equipment together. I didn't get the best of the best, but I tried to get some pretty good stuff for everybody. And yeah, I took like a huge lap around the islands, and honestly there's not that much to see. I'll try to cut and paste the key notes in between here. Time travel. First things first, it seems to be very important that you actually go back to the G-Cause Guild and talk to Vizier again. And this for two reasons. So, sorry my friends, let me thank you for clearing up that horrible matter with Akir, blah 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 blah. He's basically just very happy that he doesn't have to spend his life in prison. And thus he gives us a very nice green crystal blade, which I did kinda sell. It has a spell infused into it. I don't quite know which spell it is, but you know, now I'm never gonna know. Because it sold for quite a bit of money. I think it was 100 gold, so yeah, that's kind of worth it. Now, the second thing you need to talk to Vizier for is actually to train Syrah. Now, Syrah is our first magic caster in the group, but she obviously doesn't know all the spells that she's capable of learning. So what you basically gotta do is you gotta train Syrah up to the required level, and then come back here and learn new spells. The most important part of doing this here, and not in some future part of the game, is that the spells that you can learn from Vizier are essentially free. As opposed to like the future, where you're actually gonna have to pay money. So this is a very good chance to sort of get Syrah at a decent level and like actually be able to participate in combat. And I guess that's sort of part one of the jump cut bonanza. The second thing to do is to have a bit of a wander around the islands, but it's sort of surprisingly empty. The real only city that's in here is Girinar, so there's not that much else to see, but you can sort of head back to the crash site, and Tom is extremely surprised that they took everything away, even though he knows this because we've seen the cellar of the Huntsman clan. And still somehow he needs to be surprised about this. Maybe it's because he's drunk, but you know. Another good reason to take a little wander around Nakuridani is these little bushes right here, because you can sort of pluck the seeds from the bushes. And what do you know? These are the seeds used by the G-Cause for their magic, which of course is extremely useful for Syrah. And last but maybe not least perhaps, I don't actually know, you can find like this weird eye thing smack dab in the middle of the mountain range. Yeah, an eye-shaped symbol embedded into the rock. And I thought they were gonna comment on this, but maybe not. You know, it's there. And that's about everything there is to see on this island, really, gotta be honest. And with that, I should be ready to take off. Alright, Janice, honey, I think we're about ready. Yeah. We've seen everything there is to see, we've killed everything there is to kill. Most of it. And, let's see, she's asking us what we experience. A lot of murder. No. A lot of murder. It's almost starting to look like a human city, gotta be honest. And thus we head to the harbor, say our goodbyes, and we basically fuck off by ship. I'm worried about what lies ahead in our search for the Toronto. Hopefully no dangerous obstacles. Yeah, guess again. After all that has happened, I propose that we forget the formalities. Yeah. So basically, from this point on, you can sort of talk to Dreer and Syrah about, you know, very personal stuff. How they groom and shit. Hey, look, there's a little Scrin. Curious. And thus we head off into deep waters. The passage lasts many days. Even though we have a clock, we can see how long it takes. It doesn't take many days. During this time, Dreer teaches everybody the language, yeah. I'm not quite sure why they do this. I guess it's to sort of justify the fact that all these different islands, or that we can just sort of talk English on all these different islands. And there we go, some piggies. I do love piggies. Tom and his companions feel solid ground again. They say goodbye to the crew and look around. Look at that. Look at that, Tom. I'm not very knowledgeable in history, but these huts look Celtic to me. They're not just humans on this planet, but they seem to be descendants of the Celts. That is completely impossible. As impossible as the strange phenomena we've seen before. Now, don't make me laugh. Let's be a little more pragmatic. When we found Toronto, we'll have enough time and means to get to the bottom of all these riddles. Yeah. A proposal of pragmatism. I think we should speak with the village's chief. He will probably know if something big enough to be the Toronto has been seen. Right. If they haven't heard anything about your giant airship, we're gonna have to move on to the next part of the game, unsurprisingly. Let's see, let's talk to the chap here. How you doing, man? No, I want to talk to the dude. Come on. There we go. Togi did. No. So it's no longer Zarima, now it's Togi did. Let's see. So of course we have a little starting town again, with various traders, but now for some reason the town is like on the world map itself, instead of having the first person view. Can I talk to the lady? Yeah. Let's go have a look in the thing. How much food do I actually still have? I want to make sure I don't run out. I have 50. That's not that much, is it? But it's gonna have to do. What's up, Celt man? Hey, furries. He's calling us furries. I love it. I'm assuming these guys have seen Iskai before, but maybe not. Maybe it's not a usual sight. Togedin, can I offer you some food? Yeah. How much does it cost? Hold on, I tried to buy like 8 before, I think. 2.4, yeah, that's a good price. That's a really good price. Okay, so you deal in food. That's interesting. I have particularly good products from the famous fields of Albion. And bred here and in Vanello. So now we sort of get into the local customs. Vanello is the village near Ariano, and I'm assuming Ariano is the village that we're currently in. No, the name of the Druid school here in Kratigel. It lies north of the village, just follow the river. Okay, fine. And now we get into the nitty-gritty. Let's see, what's Abalon? A village south of the Great Mountain Range. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get into that immediately. And I have a good reason why. It's because the mountain pass is filled with bandits. Although I did spend a little bit of time farming and upgrading my stuff. Maybe I could pass through the mountain pass without dying. So these people have their own magic, mostly centered around classic druidism. Their tasks are diverse: those who administer justice or teach children, and those who act as intermediaries between the gods and the people. Healers and master of magical arts. I see. Magic is the art of the gods, performed by especially gifted druids. I see. This is gonna become important really soon. And how many gods do they have? The greatest are Lug, the god of business, Danu, goddess and mother, who is embodied by Albion. Interesting, so they do have a goddess Earth Mother, just like this guy. And then they have a whole bunch of minor gods. And thus these people call Albion the entire world. Any man among us becomes a warrior when peace is broken. I see. So yeah, this is a pretty classic Celtic society. The Umajo Guild is in a hot desert land far to the east of here. They guard the secret of getting ore from the womb of Danu. I see. So we've heard of this before, right? These people kinda con the entire world into believing that they're supposed to have a monopoly. I guess I'm being a little pessimistic, but, you know, it's hard not to be a skeptic about people trying to sell stuff that they pretend to be the only ones that they can handle. And that seems to be about it. Thus we get a little crash course into the environment of the next island. I guess the most important thing to do is probably find the tribal king. Oh, poor thing. Your husband died. Listen, my guys have died like a million times over. Just use a potion, bro. It's no big deal. Can I get in here, please? Can I please get in the stupid... There we go. Hey guys. You're the visitors from distant countries, right? I didn't want to talk to me. Oh, by the gods, this is the first time I've seen a furry. Sweet. Yeah, Dreer is like an absolute unit, so of course. He's a bit imposing, I assume. Okay, so that's interesting. Basically, these people have heard of the Iskai before, but they don't seem to see him all that often. Let's go talk to the husband. How you doing, man? Don't jump from chair to chair, it's really annoying. Palatos. What you doing, man? I am a warrior for Tharnos, and I have no other profession. The lady just told us a few minutes ago that you don't really have to be a warrior in times of peace. So basically you're like a bit of a freeloader, aren't you? Yeah. And Tharnos is the big boss man. The king is our highest lord. He controls the well-being of the Tuath. He is the embodiment of the Tuath, and his most important task is to ensure harmony. I see. That makes sense. The Tuath, or tribe, is the community of all clans. I see. Yeah, he's very proud of the fact that he doesn't do shit as long as there's peace. That's good on you, man. I mean, I guess he sort of works out. I guess it's a profession, if you could sort of sell it to people and agree that they give you money for it, for working out. You know. Well, it's been nice having a chat with you, man. What the hell is this? Look at that. That's like some weird lizard thing. And this sword. Can I have this sword, buddy? I actually do have very good items, as it is. They're not like the best of the best, but they're certainly gonna hold up. Okay. You guys live with a lot of people together, don't you? What can a simple sailor do for you? Yeah, we're kinda bored of this place already, and we wanna go to the east. So the price is 200 gold pieces and permission from the big boss man. Okay. So that's the basic idea. Obviously we're not gonna find much in the way of interesting plot points on this island. But we are gonna find like a plot hook that we're gonna have to deal with before we are allowed passage to the next place. And if I'm not mistaken, the chief's hut is gonna be the next one I'm gonna go in. It should be like to the right of here. I think it's this big one. It has to be. Who's the lady? Lady, talk to me. Talk to me, lady. Lady, please. Ah, fuck it. Let's go. Yeah, this has to be it, right? Look at this big boss man. You're the chief, aren't you? Togi Jin, I am the tribal king of Clouta. We're sort of looking for the Toronto. Yeah, he obviously hasn't seen it, he sort of mocks us for our bullshit. So we should travel on to Mani, the great island east of here, as fast as possible. Can you tell us if we can make such a sea journey? So you just sort of arrived here and you kinda wanna bail again. So Garius can take us to the next place, but you need my permission to do this, so naturally I'm gonna be a little bitch and give you a minor task before you can actually do that. And this task seems to require a bit of discretion. Okay, buddy? You would have to promise me to keep quiet about this conversation. Yeah, sure, man. Why would you trust a complete stranger? You've never seen us before. Let's see, we expect the king to have full mental and especially physical powers, since otherwise he could bring misfortune to the Tuath. My wife and I have been wanting children for a long time. And, I guess the little Tarnos is not doing his job. I would like to get an amulet from the druids, which could reinforce my virility. Ah, I see. Yeah, one of those kinds of amulets. A Viagra amulet. Yeah, I get it. Go to Barrow the druid and ask him for the amulet. Alright, that sounds like not much of a big deal. It should take like a few seconds, right? Right, guys? Right? It's not gonna take long, right? Right? Jesus. Yeah. I know what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be fun. He doesn't have that much else to say, does he? Kinda curious about why his, little Tharnos is not doing the job. But I guess it's not my business, and it's a bit weird to like disclose that to complete strangers. Right. The king doesn't seem as happy as he was before. Yeah, I wonder why. Farina, I only have a little time for you. I'm preparing prayers. Yeah, I know what it's about. Maybe I could coerce her into hearing more about their private bedside stories. No, well, it's not really my business, is it? I mean, if a man wants to bone his wife, That's all the power to him, man. And thus we are on a quest to help the man to bone his wife. Which I assure you is very important, and it's gonna be like resolved fairly quickly. Let's see. So these guys are just fluff. Buddy? Buddy, come here. Come here. Want to talk to you, yeah. Exchange some words with my sister. She likes to be inspired with conversations from strange travelers. Oh, buddy, I'm not here to, like, cure my boneritis. I'm here to cure Big Boss Tribal Kingman, of his problems. It seems like this lady supposedly has something interesting to talk about, but I wouldn't know what. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some of these people that you can sort of offer items to, or speak certain words to, that they would divulge more knowledge, but I don't actually know. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Instead, let's just head to the north and go talk to the druids, which I think are to the north, if I'm not mistaken. Now look at that. I've been aimlessly wandering around this island, and at the very least, luck strikes, and I find a whole bunch of these seeds. So that's a good start, I guess. I'm gonna need it. Definitely. And also, of course, I've been fighting a shit ton of enemies. I'm not gonna cut and paste that into the video, because it's mostly just the same. I guess I could just show one. This is like a very easy one, coincidentally, but usually I just sort of have Dreer and Tom wail on everybody. And Sarah, I probably haven't like used magic on video before, because the only times I've used it were the combat that I didn't cut into the previous video. But she has like a whole bunch of these spells, and every time you use a spell, she sort of gets a little bit better at it. I'm not too sure what better actually means. I'm assuming it means more damage, or better to hit chance. I'm not too sure, but you know, the basic idea is to have her train all these spells, so I tend to just sort of waste my time casting every spell until it's trained. And since this is just one Crondir 1, this is not really gonna be any sort of problem, usually. There we go. Here we go. After like a lot of aimlessly wandering around, I think I finally found what I'm looking for. There's this dude. He's hanging out at this tree. He's very important. His name is Phrenos. Please behave yourself according to the ways of the grove. Okay. What's the dealio? He's the guardian of the grove. And this dude, basically hangs out, sort of curates a tree, which seems to be a symbol of the Earth Mother, it seems. And he's basically guarding a tree. I'm assuming what went down is all the druids kinda hated this idiot's ass, and they just sort of spun him a story about, hey dude, go stand at that tree, like right outside. Yeah, it's very important, just go stand near it, forever. And that's basically what he does. But interestingly, this dude is actually fairly important. For a minor little extra. It's completely optional, but it is very useful. And I can't do it right now, so I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm just gonna leave you guys in the dark for a minute. And this tiny hut here is supposed to be Ariano, right? I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Guardian of Knowledge, School and Center of the Druids of Albion. Here we go. How you doing, guys? Togiden, this is Ariano, the Guardian of Knowledge. Welcome to the Center of the Druids. And, yeah. Rainer basically goes at his way to, like, explain what the hell we're doing here. We have come for the Viag Amulet. Now. And thus he sort of pisses off that he's... Why is he ginger but blonde in, like... That is weird. Yeah, so the little hut is just a means of entrance, and Ariano is actually fairly huge, annoyingly huge, to be honest. Which we're gonna find out soon enough. And of course the druids have their own little chief, they're not really beholden to the tribal king, I assume. And this is he, Big Boss Man number 2 of the Celts. Welcome, travelers, to Ariano, the 2,000-year-old school of the Druids. Sweet. And thus they seem to have records going back 2,000 years. Back to the time when the great Kanzo led us here from the land of our forefathers. Of course, Rainer very curious because he wants to know if they came in here from another planet. The land of the forefathers was destroyed by the Crusaders, so these guys were sent to Albion. Interesting. And thus we get back to the matter at hand, yeah. And unsurprisingly, this minor fetch quest is gonna have a turn for the worse. Beru is, yeah, he kinda bit it. He's still in the building. I see, I must start further back. As you already know, this building is very old. Founded shortly after the arrival of the Chosen Ones. And they basically built this upon the lands. A large part of it is sealed off for almost 400 years. There was a disagreement with a group of druids we call the Fire Worshippers, and who ultimately became the Kangat Kamulos. At the time, there was a bitter disagreement, which ultimately led to an exodus. So, yeah, if you don't particularly know everything about this game, you can sort of sense where this is going, right? So Beru climbed down into the dungeon part of the building, looking for magic artifacts, and yeah, they basically assume him dead. And Tom very poignantly asked, like, wouldn't you be better off just sending out real dudes? And then he sort of callously says, yeah, like, you know, you don't follow our religion, so we can sort of sacrifice you for the cause. That's basically what he's saying. And there we go. Dreer, of course, is completely up for it. Syrah, I'm gonna keep Syrah safe as best as I can. And Rainer, well, Rainer is a bit of an idiot, so we don't really care either way. I can even provide some backup for you. We had a hard time keeping him from going down to Drino. This is Beru's foster son, a young druid by the name of Malthas. He is deaf and dumb, but his spirit is as bright as the sun. And thus we have our final party member for now. And Malthas is actually very useful. Barrow made provisions for himself before he climbed down. He is no fool. I think he will barricade himself somewhere if he is having difficulty. Probably no reason to be hasty, because he's dead already. I wish you Luke's blessing in the rescue. Should you wish to speak to me, I will be in my room. And there we have it. That is the major quest in this part of the game. And when I say major, I do mean major. The previous part is like nothing compared to this. This is a giant ass dungeon. And for that exact reason, I am not going to head in just yet. I think I might actually first do all of the exploring on the island, and then, only then, head down into the dungeon. And there's a very good reason for that. I'm gonna steal your stuff, if you don't mind. Let's see, Syrah. Yoink. And... yoink. I hope you don't mind. Since you're searching for the missing Barrow, my healing services are free. Ooh. Now that is amazing, look at that. We can basically come back to this dude to heal for free. Which I'm gonna make a heavy use of while I have the chance. There we go. I don't think we have any diseases or any curses. Yeah. So this dude is the healer. By the blessing of Danu, he gives you joy in being able to heal others, so he basically gets off on it. Sure. Sweet. I guess maybe it's all that lay on hands thing that they teach the clerics, doesn't it? Sounds kind of lewd when you think about it. Right. Before I... Oh, let's have a talk to this chap. What? How you doing, man? He's asleep, I see. Before I go around exploring, I think the first thing I'm gonna do is actually have a chat with my party members. So Rainer can sort of... He is designated plotman, so he can tell us more about the Celts now. I've never been particularly interested in history, but let's see what I can remember. So the Celts were in control of Western Europe. They spread out in several waves of migration, and they kinda got fucked over by the Romans. In spite of this incident and the later Christianization, many Celtic people preserved their culture for a long time. And that's basically it. The Druids are the old-timey Celtic healer men.